Hello, I'm Mary Frances Burleson. I'm the President and CEO of the Ebby Halliday Companies. The Ebby Halliday Companies are pleased to be able to bring you these stories of the Highland Park Independent School District.
It's a community, and the community really comes out through the school system and the support of the school system. If we didn't have these wonderful schools, we'd be just another neighborhood.
Shared responsibility for the excellence of this school and this community are one of the great qualities of Highland Park ISD.
Every adult that's here, I think, joins hands and says, I'm part of that. I'm part of something bigger.
You realize how appreciated you are, and it inspires you to work even harder to become a fixture in these families' lives.
It's this whole culture of helpfulness, wanting the best, raising the bar for the students, having high expectations.
There are no hidden agendas. People are not in it for themselves, really in it for the district and their children and their grandchildren and the future generations that will live in this area.
You can look back at your life and you say, well, how do I measure my success? It's your children's success.
That's what the world needs to be about. That's what America Public Schools need to be about. And Highland Park has the rare opportunity to really be a model of being about those kinds of things.
All communities love their schools, but Highland Park is really good at loving their schools.
And that supportive community makes a huge difference.
Everyone's working toward the same thing, then the possibilities are endless.
We decided to move to University Park because of the community feel. And there's just a connection between the elementary school and the community.
That elementary school is really, it's a metaphor for community.
Because everyone from the janitor to the superintendent is proud to be in the Highland Park School District.
Everybody, knows somebody's grandmother. They live next door to somebody's aunt, and I think that's really neat that we're all kind of intertwined.
All sorts of things that just have tied people together with a sense of community.
A sense of togetherness that you just don't see in all school districts.
You all go to the same couple of grocery stores. Your kids are all primarily at the same schools, so you get to interact a whole lot with your neighbors and other people in your neighborhood.
It was so comforting to know that when your child was walking to school, there was someone in that yard that would, greet them in the morning on their way or on the way home.
The crossing guard that was right by our house became like part of our family.
The families are just very closely tied here, and that makes for a very unique culture in the building.
It's different, walking to school, riding your bike to school, your skateboard, your scooter. It's fantastic.
Just to stand out in the front porch of the school and watch the neighborhood arrive at school each morning, is a very special occurrence. And I think it's probably been happening that way for 100 years now.
And it was just one big happy family in the community. Everybody knew everybody, and it was just like living in a small town surrounded by all the advantages of a big city.
Even though we're in the middle of the big metroplex of Dallas and all the great cultural opportunities of Dallas, but there's that preservation of a small town feel.
And I think that's one of the things people enjoy about the Park Cities is the timelessness of it, the feeling that this has been here, it's been settled, and it will be here.
And we've got a little town school with wonderful education.
And so it's sort of it's the idea of a neighborhood school, the close feel, kids coming in from all over, parents coming in, people on their bikes, skateboards, whatever they're on.
So that the creek, the school, the playground, the fields, your next door neighbor.
You always know you're not going to hit the ground. You always know that there's someone there to catch you.
And I think it makes the child feel comfortable and feel protected and feel like a part of a community.
And when people call me and say they're thinking about moving here and they're looking at houses in our neighborhood, and I say, you know, we've got really 4 wonderful, great elementary schools.
We have a lot of returning parents that have children and grandchildren that have come through this school. The vested interest that they have in making sure that this place is the best it can be every day is, again, what drives you.
And when you have generations that have come through schools, then it does provide that powerful continuity. It makes the tapestry whole.
If you had to boil it down, though, the number one thing is that community involvement, the symbiotic relationship back and forth between the schools and the community, and how they feed on one another and create excellence for both.
And because it is a small district, I think it even is a more special time to celebrate the 100th year and move on to the next 100th.
It's the finest place in the world to live and raise your family.
It's a great community to raise children. It's a great community of people who care about each other.
I can't put my finger on why it is unique, but it is. It's just an unbelievable community.
You have to have the support of a community to make anything work, to launch anything. And I know one thing about Highland Park, it rallies around its own, and I'm very proud of that.
Both the school system and the community makes an ideal way of life, and I've lived here since 1936 and don't plan to leave.
The joy of the 90s to me were the people of Highland Park. That's what makes this community. There's no place like it in America.
Without a doubt, the involvement of the community and the involvement of the parents and the high expectations for everyone, whether that's students, parents, administrators, teachers, really drive the district to be the best.
There's no place like here, and it's just pretty special.